Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So, we are doing a few tutorials over the next couple of days. My internet connection has actually decided to not work recently, which is pretty annoying because I was ill and then I had my birthday, you know, just kind of celebrating, and then I decided to come back to Blender and then the internet connection decided not to work. So, it's been off for the last 2 days. We're not too sure what's happened, but we do know that we've had a lot of rainfall. So if you've seen this video, it's been recorded a couple of days ago or however long. I've not been on YouTube, really. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a hallway kind of red, gold and black kind of theme. I'm going to start with the pillars to begin with, and we'll make those, and I'll show you how to do all the materials and the textures and stuff. Sorry, I've got notes below me of what I want to do on this project. And then I'll add the walls in and the skirting boards and all that kind of stuff. So, let's go ahead and make the pillars to begin with. What you're going to want to do is switch to render, switch out the EV to cycles, because we're working in cycles with this. And then also, I've got the screencasting keys right here so you guys can see. I'm going to start with, let's start with this cube right here. Let's go to edit mode. Usually we delete the default cubes, but it doesn't matter. So, select your face option right here, just at the top. We're going to go with G, bring this down. I'm going to go ahead and split the atom here actually. So we kind of got a side view of what's going on. So, on this side, what you want to do, just click anywhere really and just press 1. On the number pad. If you've not got the number pad, you've got view, and then you can do viewpoints, and then you've got all these options, as you can see right here. So, what we're going to do, we need to select the top on here. We can see that the pillar's going to be sideways just here. Let's go with E-fret extrude. Just bring it up just slightly. Scale this in. So you've got that nice little bevel on the outside. E-fret extrude again. We're going to scale in. And then we're going to go E-fret extrude. Bring this up. Just ever so slightly. E-fret extrude. Keep it where it is. Scale it outwards. You just want it to come within this. So let's go S for scale. I'm just going to scale that down. So you see where the edges here for the face that we've just made and the edges here for the face that we just made, you don't want to exceed that. So we're going to go E-fret extrude again. 1 second, let me just get this in the right position. So E-fret extrude again, bring it up slightly. And then you can do a little E-fret extrude, just a little bevel on the outside, just very tiny. Just as such. So you've got that nice little round corner right there, if you guys can see that. I'm going to leave this like this, actually. We'll go E-fret extrude again. Leave it where it is. Scale it in. You're going to want to scale in to where the original pillar was. Just here. So you're almost in line. So let's just S for scale and pull that in again. Just up to that line. Ever so slightly. We're going to go E-fret extrude, bring it up. E-fret extrude again, leave it where it is, scale it outwards, try and get it to the exact same specifications as the last little bump that you did. E-fret extrude, bring it up, oops, there we go, don't know why that didn't work, but try and make them roughly the same size. So we've got one square here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So just try and make that roughly 13. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this, I'm just going to press G, just bring this up to where it needs to be. And then we can go E-fret extrude again. And just scale across. And that's generally what you're doing. You're just scaling across, E-fret extruding. We'll do about 4 of these. Don't worry about the other pillars that are going to be within the scene, because we're going to be duplicating this particular pillar all the way around the scene so that you've got less work to do essentially. You can alter the materials on them if you want to, so if you want to make them look different, you can add scratches and stuff like that. Just press the duplicate material and then edit what you need to edit in there. So what I'm going to do, let's go and scale this image just ever so slightly. E-fret extrude again. And then we're just doing the exact same thing that we did last time. So let's scale this in. Bring this roughly to where we need it to be. E-fret extrude, bring it up. Again, just rough it. E-fret extrude. Keep it where it is. Scale outwards. And get it back to where it needs to be. Then we're going to do E-fret extrude, roughly 13 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. As an estimate. E-fret extrude, give it that little bevel. Try and get that into the exact same position as closely as you can. Just mostly doing this by hand, so you've got this nice little thing going on right here. And we'll do one more. So let's go E-fret extrude again. Keep it where it is. S for scale, bring it in. And then we'll do E-fret extrude, bring this up. Give it a rough estimate. We're going to go E-fret extrude. Leave it where it is. S for scale, bring it out. And then we're going to do 13 up again. So E-fret extrude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 as our estimate. E-fret extrude, couple up, and then we'll scale this in. Just as such. I'm going to actually press G and just bring that down a little bit. I think I went a little bit too high there. Okay, so we're going to do E-fret extrude again. Scale it in. Bring it to where it needs to be. And from what my notes are saying, the base needs to be slightly shorter than the outer bit. So basically the base is going to be a little bit bigger and then it's going to go inwards and then come back out again. So let's just assess this. So we do have a base that is bigger on the outside. Now you can alter this if it's a little bit too shallow on this side. So what I mean by shallow is, you can take this bottom face right here, and if it's not big enough on this square, just press G, bring this up, press S for scale, let's bring it outwards a little bit, make sure that you've got that nice little bevel coming off the outside and it's nice and smooth, G to bring it down, and then we can go E-fret extrude and we can make that box just a little bit bigger on the base, just right there. And what I'm going to do, let's place this here and then we'll go E-fret extrude and then make a slight bevel just at the bottom. So it's totally up to you how big you want the base of this pillar to be. But that nice little bevel on the edge just gives it some edging. Just gives it a little bit more roundness. So if we go to the top option right here, we can go E-fret extrude and we can bring this straight up. You can scale this in as well. And I believe you can do a mirror modifier on this, so you don't actually have to do the other side, which is neat. So let's go E-fret extrude, bring this up. We'll try the mirror modifier, see what happens. Totally up to you how you want to do this. I mean, you could do the top by hand if you want to, because the top on mine is a little bit different. But say like you wanted to duplicate this, we could go to the modifiers, mirror. And you could kind of modify this on the opposite side. Let's see. I mean, you could have the mirror modifier on that side if you wanted to. Press G. And it will modify it, but for this particular one, we don't need it. That's just a little example for you. Say like if you were doing pillars and you wanted to make them sort from the middle kind of to the sides. Really good idea to do it like that, so that you get that nice little symmetrical shape. But what we need is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make another square on top of this because I think it would look better with another square rather than just having it as one piece. So let's go with object mode right here. Let's go ahead and add cube. And what you want to do is you want to scale the cube. Try not to move it. Just ignore my commands there. Just press G. Bring this up. And what you essentially want to do is, if we go to X-ray toggle mode right here, we can see that we've got the base of the pillar. And then we've got this new part that we're making. So we're going to go S for scale, bring it down, press G. And now that should be the exact same length all the way around as long as you've not moved it. If we press S for scale, we can scale this up, make this as tall or as small as you'd like. We'll press G again, bring this up. So this really depends on how tall you would like it. If this is too tall for you, for your room, just go ahead, select the face on top. I would just press G and you can bring this up and you can bring this down to your liking, to where you need it to be. So with this particular one, what I want to do is we want to create little pits within the actual piece itself. So let's go with Control R. Scroll the center scroll right here. You want to try and make it as even as you can. So let's go with, so we've got, if we go for the faces right here, we've got this one, we've got this one, we've got this one, and then suddenly we don't have an even on this side, so that's not works for us. What I'm going to do before I do all of this scrolling stuff is, let's go Control R. Let's get a cut-off point at the bottom. And then let's go ahead and get a cut-off point at the top. So we can go Control R. And then we'll get the cut-off point there. We'll go Control R again. And hopefully it should be even on this side again. So we could go 1, 2. If you do this on the side, actually, let's see. So let's get the cut-off point again. Just ignore me, I'm trying to show you something here. So, if you do this sideways, you go Control R, and you get this on the side, you can actually see how many lines you have. So, we've got 4 parts there. It's probably not going to do us. Let's see, so we got 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3. You could do it like that if you wanted to. You've got 3 lines on that one. For my one, there's a little bit more to it. So let's go to scroll again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 lines in the middle. So you're just basically counting. I'm kind of like pointing at the screen here. You guys can't see what I'm doing. So let me show you on the screen. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the kind of pattern that you want to be pushing through. So you've got this nice little edging right here, this edging right here, and then the edging in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and just press S for scale and just scale this down just ever so slightly, just in the middle right there. Let's take off X-ray mode so you guys don't get confused of what I'm doing. So you've got one face here, one face here, one face here, and one face here. You've got this nice little border edging going on. So let me show you that again. One face, one face, one face, one face. S for scale, scale them inwards. And then what we can do at this point, we can go E for extrude. So if we go from this side right here, E for extrude, bring them back. We now have these nice little lines within the pillar. And these nice little edgings. So on the opposite side as well, which you won't see from this side. See what we can do here. So we're going to get those edgings again. And we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to want 4 in the middle. So let's go Control R. You're going to want that nice little 4. So hopefully that's 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sugar. We got 3 on that one. Give me a minute. Let's go again. Control R. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't look right. 1 second. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go one more. I think you're going to be wanting to scroll roughly 5. 1 second. This confuses me because I can't see the edge of this one. 1, 2. Yeah, I think 5 should do it. Okay, so let's check this. You can always backtrack. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's exactly how we need it. Let's go S for scale, scale this in. And then E for extrude, just to go through on that side. Now, you'll notice that we've done E for extrude on the front here, E for extrude on the side here, but this side and this side hasn't been done. So what we're going to have to do with this is, if we backtrack before we extrude, select 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go E for extrude, leave it where it is. And what you want to do is S for scale. So S, and then we scale inwards, just as such. Because this side right here is going to be facing the back of the room. So that we can just rotate it round to where we need it to be. So you're not going to be really seeing it. If you want to pull the sides out there, you can do. My dog has got his bowl and he's like literally throwing it around. It's not time for his feeding yet, but because it's winter now and because the sun sets a little earlier, he thinks he's getting fed earlier. Or at least he thinks that he's not being fed. And it's not that he's not being fed, it's just the sun set earlier. And I'm guessing that he associates food with the sun setting. So, yeah, he's throwing around his bowl. I'll go give him something in a minute. Yeah, so let's get on to the rest of this tutorial right here. So, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make maybe some kind of funky kind of stuff on the opposite side. So what I'm going to do, I might go grab his bowl actually. Go give him something. So let's go Shift D. I'll finish this off with you guys first, and then I'll go do that, and then magic of video editing, I'll come back. So let's rotate this by 180. Did I click 190? That should have been 180. Let's go R for rotate. Let's do that again. 180. There we go. Right. So you're gonna want to do the X-ray mode just about here. G, bring this up. So that it's just sat just there above. I'm just going to take the X-ray mode off and then just put this onto the side, so you guys can see what's going on. I might actually pull those vertices out, to be honest with you. If you guys have already done it, cool. But it's just so that you guys can see what's going on. So let's go E for extrude, just bring that back just ever so slightly. And then you've got that. Okay, so once we've got the pillar like this, what we can start doing is adding some little details into here. So maybe we could just reduce this just ever so slightly and then add the details to it. So let's go G, bring this down. And what I'm going to do is start doing some colour mapping. So just give me a couple of seconds, I'll be right back. Right, that's one dog all fed. Right, so magical video editing, I'm back. Right, I'm going to take, I've changed my mind on this one. Well, it's really good to have a pillar that is almost symmetrical. What I'm going to do is let's add some colour to this. Let's add some materials to this, some textures to this. And we'll see what we can do with the top part, because I would like to add textures before I start adding things onto things. So what I've actually got, I don't know whether you guys can see these. Hold them up to the camera a little bit. Hopefully that focuses. So these are different rocks. So what I've got in here, it's supposed to be like kind of a kind of I don't know what you call it, a spiritual shop or something like that I went to. So I've got crackle quartz, banded agates. I think I'm absolutely butchering the names of these. Hollow lights, and I've got some obsidian. So what I'm thinking is maybe we could copy some of the textures on these. So we've got this one. I don't know. Oh, this is a sodalite. Sodalite. You see the textures on that? It's almost like a marble kind of thing going on. So that would be really cool for like some posh stuff. Then I've got some hollow lights. Which again is like a marbly texture. And then I've got two rocks that look very, very, very similar. So you've got obsidian, and then you've got black obsidian and black onyx. And the two of them look incredibly similar. Like, hold on. Sorry if you're wearing headphones. They look incredibly similar. Now, the webcam doesn't really pick them up that well, but I want to try and get some of the textures into this scene. And get some funky kind of looks going on. So, let's go ahead and we'll do, like, say, an obsidian kind of tone. Let's go to shading. Let's take this center pillar right here. We'll go to new. And what I'm going to do, let's go to add and we'll go color ramp. Spot the American way, I always forget. Color to base color. We'll do some black coming up, take that roughness down a little bit, make it a little reflective. I'm just going to put it onto the render option right here so you guys can see the tones and stuff that I'm using. And maybe we'll add a, let's go layouts just for 1 second. Add a plane. Scale this out. And just press G, just bring it down. This is just going to help with the light refraction and stuff as we're doing this scene. So let's go with shading. We've got this nice little obsidian, so I'm just going to call the material obsidian. Maybe we could do onyx actually, because obsidian's quite uniform. Onyx has like a little bit of kind of marbling to it, so maybe we could do onyx. Let's go with ONX. Is it ONXY? Where's my onyx? ONYX. So let's go onyx with that one. Black onyx. Yeah, it's got like some grey marbling through it, so I kind of want to replicate that just a little bit. So we're probably going to need a noise texture on there. So let's go with add, and we'll go noise. Let's go colour to FAC. And you want to be able to just pull the roughness up just a little bit, scale it up. I think scaling up would be the best. And then maybe we could pull the whites towards the black a little bit, just to give it that nice little kind of variation. Just reduce that detail ever so slightly, and then scale it down. And then what I'm going to add as well, because we've got this nice little kind of pattern on there, maybe just alter some of these settings, distort it a little bit. I mean, you guys can copy the settings on here. I'm not in the way, am I? So last tutorial I was in the way. Right, I'm going to place myself right here so you guys can see what's going on the screen right here. So, let's go ahead and add, and I'm going to go with kind of like a blue as well, just to kind of give it that little bit of more marble kind of tone. Just to pull some of that colour up a little bit. Where's my blue at? Kind of want that kind of tone. Okay, so maybe reduce the blue just ever so slightly, but just kind of give it that kind of off black. So roughly about there, right? I kind of like that. So we're going to need to turn down the roughness, the metallic up, because this is kind of like a marble kind of theme. And the lighting, to be honest with you, I'm going to edit the lighting. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do the lighting afterwards, but let's just give it some more power. A little bit more exposure so you guys can see what's going on. You can see that nice little reflective stuff now. A little bit OTT on the exposure, but it's just so you guys can see. So what I'm going to do, let's make this uniform as well. So let's take the base that we have right here, and instead of selecting this material and remaking everything, we'll go to the drop down right here. You're going to go to Onyx, and this will give you the exact same tone as above. So, with these parts as well, what I want to do is let's go into edit mode and we'll get a gold in here. So we're going to go all the way around. So I'm just going to go ahead and just place this on normal render, so you guys can see what's going on. We just want the surface as gold. So we could do gold here, gold here, gold here. You could do, if you had an additional stripe like I do at the base of this pillar, you could have gold here as well if you wanted to. If you don't have it, just loop cut it, Control R, and try and get it that way. So, all selected right here, what we want to do is we want to go to the Materials tab, press plus right here. We'll go New, and this will be gold. So we'll try and keep the gold as standard. Kind of want a metallic with this. You can change it to metallic or you can do it manually. It's totally up to you. So metallic BSDF instead of principal BSDF. Base colour, you want kind of a nice little orangey gold. We're going to do roughness down and click assign. So when you come back to the render now and you click off this, you should have a nice little gold going around the edge of this. Let's go to object mode real quick. So you see that we have this gold now. So what I'm going to do with it, because it seems a little bit too uniform, is I'm going to add a couple of bumps to it. So let's go with shift, just to get rid of these. Come on. For some reason it's not responding. Just at the side there, we're going to go add, and we'll go with noise texture. And you can go ahead and add this onto the roughness. See if that works for you. So now we kind of have this less than uniform gold. Kind of little imperfections. Maybe people have been walking past and they've scuffed it up, or maybe someone's not cleaned it, or, you know, maybe it's just like a rough texture. Maybe it's like leaf gold. Maybe it was a rough cut on the actual pillar itself, and the leaf gold was applied over the top of it, and now we can see all the little bumps of where the tools were used. So, you know, give it a little bit of a story, I guess. You can put an edge tint on this as well. Whatever you would like. And just kind of mess around with some of the settings. See what's going on. You know, just so that you've got that perfect little gold patch. So, with this as well, we've got roughness. Take that up, take that down. Whatever you'd like. I think that looks a little better. So, the reason why I was saying we could do this bit beforehand is because we're going to duplicate this. So I'm just going to take the top of this, top of the base. We'll do with edit mode. Select the top right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and just assign a gold to this top part as well. And maybe just do the trimmings as well. Just around the edge. We can assign this to the gold rather than the onyx. Okay, so once we've got this, take the base, Shift D, bring it up, and then once you've got that, we can go alpha rotate, and we can go 180. If you go back to your layout menu, we can go on X-ray right here. We can see how far up this is going. Totally up to you. It's your design. And we can place that just on top as such. So now we should have something that looks like this for the pillar. So let's I'm just going to investigate my notes again. So we need this pillar, and then we're going to do some walls behind, and then we've got to do the skirting boards as well, or what is considered to be the skirting boards. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and add, let's go with a cylinder. Press G, bring this up. We're going to do some little details on the top of the pillar, and then we'll do the rest of the room. So alpha rotate. You want to rotate this to the side, 90 degrees. Let's go with edit mode. Take your front face right here and take your back face right here. Press delete. and you want to delete faces, press A to select everything, E for extrude, and then S for scale. And then what you want to do is just make sure that's scaled in just ever so slightly. S for scale on the outside just ever so slightly, and then S on this scale. And then E for extrude, scale inwards, like that. So, when you've finished this, what you should have is some sort of tunnel like this, with that nice little bevel on the outside. So, we'll go ahead, we'll go Object Mode, we'll go Shade Smooth. Go to your Materials tab right here, your drop down, and we'll go Gold. So now you should have a nice little gold going on. What we're going to do with this, scale this out, just as such, scale it back in. And we're going to start placing this on the side of the pillar. So you're probably best to scale this side on this screen and then position everything on this screen. So we press 1. So we've got the nice little side view. Let's scale this down just ever so slightly, just to about there. Press G, and then you can start moving stuff around. So we can have nice little detail here. Let's go Shift D, move this across, try and get them roughly in the same place. Nice little detail here. Let's select both of these. We can go Shift D, move this up. Place those there, nice little detail, and then Shift D again, we could go ahead, scale these in, and you could press like S to scale in just a little bit. So you've almost got this kind of symmetrical thing. It's fine if it's not completely symmetrical because it kind of looks like maybe the craftsman just kind of had it off just a little bit. So, I mean, you could go ahead and adjust it if you wanted to. So it's like about that much, and then this one is a bit further out. It looks like it's been made by a person rather than by a machine kind of thing. Let's go outwards with that one a little bit. And what we can do, these two ones that are in the middle, oops, because obviously we've scaled them down, they're going to go sideways as well. So let's just make these uniform, scale them across. Just a little bit so everything sits together. And when we render this, it should look something like this. Now if you don't like the texture on this one, you could go ahead and change it to whatever you'd like. You could go ahead and change the side profiles here. We could go and add, let's go with a cube. Press G just to bring this up. Oops, where's it gone? There it is. Okay, so with the cube itself, what we could do is just kind of box this off a little bit. So we could go S for scale, scale it down, press G, oops, bring this across to the back here, scale this in. Oops, scale this across. G, bring it back just a little bit. You can kind of make this little border. And then you can change the tone, the material to gold. That should be gold. Yeah, it is. Just go ahead and just bring that back and just align it a little bit. And then you can take this and Shift D it and just move it across to the opposite side too. So just about there. So that's an idea that you could do with your design if you wanted to. Nice little pillars. You could add some more stuff to that if you wanted to. You could have like some little gold bits. You know what? I'm going to add them. Let's add some little gold bits. So let's go with these at the side. Let's go Shift D. So you want the squares. What we're going to do, scale them out just a little bit. Scale them down. So they're almost like little pieces. So let's press G. Bring them to the middle just as such. And then you can start scaling these down and just making like little details. So we can go Shift D, move this across, scale this down a little bit. Shift D, move this across, scale down again. Oops. Let's go S for scale. Shift D. And then S for scale, just bring that back down just a little bit. And then just duplicate these on the other side. So essentially you're just placing this as that one. And then you're essentially just taking this one and Shift D. Just place this here. And then the last one that we can do is the Shift D. And we can place this here. You could also vary the materials that you have. So we have this nice little green coming through at the back here, this kind of nice sort of marbling. We could have this as kind of I don't know what you would call it. It's let's go with duplicate this, so we got gold one, right? So we're gonna go green gold, change the coloring to kind of like a nice little green, I guess. Edge tint, go green again. And what you want to do is do this with the rest of them too. So let's just move that down just ever so slightly. This is the kind of roughness that I'm messing with. And then we can go ahead and do the drop down. We could go green go again and green go again. This one. So we've got that nice little variation in tone. Just to kind of make things pop out rather than things blend into the background. So yeah, you could have something like that. I think the light's a little bit too much in this scene. Let's go ahead and just reduce that. So this is what I was trying to show you. This is the kind of pattern that you could have with your designs. Totally up to you what you want to do with it. You could bring this one forward and this one forward if you wanted to make it look a little bit more solid. Let's press G. Oops. Come on. Let's press G and bring that forward so it's a little bit more solid. Yeah, if that's the kind of design that you want, you can do that. If you want any other design, you can do something different. So let's see. We've got the little pillars right here, and my notes are saying that we need to do the walls. Also, my pillars have a little bit of a gold stripe on them, so I might just add that as well. So let's go with edit mode. I'm gonna go. Let's go on this mode. Control R. If it'll let me do it. Come on. We just want a little trim just down the side here. So Control R. And this little trim can go on the front. Let's select the faces. Scroll this across. There we go. Okay. So let's select the faces right here. We could go with plus. Go drop down. Gold. So everything's standardized. Assign. Now, if we go back to object mode and we go on render, we can see that this pillar's got a nice little gold stripe going down the side of it as well. Bit OTT, you could also do stripes in the middle if you wanted to as well, but to be honest with you, I'm just going to leave this as is. I think it is a little bit over the top. It's kind of going to Wonderland vibes. But we've got this one now. And we'll start to make the walls and some of the details. So, let's go. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of pull that across. We'll use that later. Let's go ahead and select everything that we've just made. Box select if you need to. Let's go Shift D and we'll move this across. Let's go 10. Actually, no, let's go 20. Yeah, okay. So, If you guys didn't see that, just press, you're just pressing G, going across the line, and then just press 20 into the number pad. So, we'll go from this bit right here, we'll go to add, let's go plane, rotate, and we're going to go 90, S for scale, bring this out, we're going to go G, bring this across, make sure that it sits between two of the pillars that you've just made. We could go with edit mode, edge mode, select the edges right here, press G, bring this up, and then this one is pretty much perfect, just in the back there. You maybe want this going halfway through the pillars, just there. And then what we're going to do at this point, let's go to shading tab. What we can do is, let's go new, and we'll call this wallpaper. Did I really just do that? Wallpaper. Wait a minute, my typing's not great today. Okay, wallpaper right there. Let's go ahead and add, and I believe the texture was Gabor. Phase into base color. And what you want to do essentially is just kind of edit this. So we've also got like a, almost like a marbling kind of texture. And what I'm going to do, let's add a noise texture into this. We can add this to any of these, depending on what you want. So you kind of scale this up a little bit, give it a little bit of texture just in between. Change the roughness, pull that back. You can distort it. I wouldn't say distortion is going to be a huge thing, but totally up to you. Just kind of improve that frequency and scale it down, scale it up even. So you've got that nice little marbling coming through. Now from this point you want to take the noise texture and the Gabor texture just to the side real quick, and we'll add a colour ramp. Just in the middle right here. We're going to add a nice little red. Just to the texture. We're going to want black and red. Mostly. Than we do with the white. So the white can stay. But you're going to want to pull the black up. Just a little bit as well. So it's kind of like this nice little wallpaper that's almost like kind of texturized. Let's go with frequency, just bring that down. Maybe a little bit more. Just going to scale up that noise just ever so slightly. And the detail as well. And maybe the roughness. So we've got this nice little pattern going on right here. Take the roughness up as well, because this is a wall. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make some bordering around the edge of this. So usually what you have in houses that have almost like this kind of decor, we're going to take this back a little bit so we can make those pillars a little bit more prominent. Let's go ahead and add a cube. Scale this up so that it's roughly the same size. We'll go back to layout actually, so yeah, you guys can see. Let's go G, bring this up, scale it downwards, just ever so slightly. You're going to want it so that it sits just at the back of the pillar. And then scale it just inwards, just ever so slightly as well. So let's see if I can just get rid of this just for 1 second so I can show you guys. Let's go G. This is going to be just to border the wall just a little bit. And what you want to do is take this. We're going to go down to the materials tab. Go to Onyx. And you should have something like this once it's rendered. So it's a nice little kind of border that's going across, and then we're going to do another little border here on this side. I might actually change that wallpaper, I don't like it. So yeah, we've got the border just there as well. So you've kind of got this nice little onyx. You could go ahead if you wanted to with this background that we've got right here and get rid of the onyx if it's too much. Come on, minus it off. Let's get rid of that. Right, and we go new, and then we can just do black. Pull the roughness up just a little bit. Let's just rename that as black. Okay, so once we've got this on this side, just going to go ahead and just scale this down, just make sure this is kind of more uniform, so there's nothing hanging off the edges. And then I'm going to go ahead and just press Shift D and move this across to the opposite pillar as well. So if you have kind of a little bit just hanging off at the bottom here, it doesn't really matter because the floor is going to go above it. And what it allows you to do, if you need to do some editing later on, you can just go underneath the floor and just click on a certain object rather than trying to click on them in the scene. So we've got that right there. Let's go ahead. I'll make the border a little bit. So what we're going to need to do, we were just trying to think here. So if we have that as a central line, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's add. We'll go with cube. So you're going to want to go 10 across, just with these. Should be absolutely fine. Let's go with edit mode. Take this face right here. Press G, bring this across. And then I'm just going to press G again and we'll bring this cross onto this side too. G, bring this up. And maybe we'll have this about halfway through the wall. And then for this side as well, I'm just going to pull this in just at the side so that it's not interacting with the pillar. So, come on. There we go. Right, okay. Let's pull that G just at the side there. So we've got that nice little border that's coming around at the back, and then we've got this nice little kind of border thing here that's coming in through the front. So what I'm going to do, let's go with E fret extrude, bring it forward just slightly, scale it inwards so you've got that nice little bevel. E fret extrude again, keep it where it is, scale it inwards, E fret extrude again, keep it where it is, scale it inwards just slightly, and then we're going to go with G and bring this back just in here. E fret extrude, scale it inwards slightly, and we're going to go E fret extrude again and scale it inwards, E fret extrude, move it up a little bit, scale it inwards, and then E fret extrude, drop it back, E fret extrude again, keep it where it is, scale it inwards, and then E fret extrude, just bring it forward, and then E fret extrude, scale it inwards, and then E fret extrude, just bring it back. So this is going to be a nice little piece for the side wall here. Let's go onto edit mode just for 1 second. Sorry, the object mode for 1 second. So as you can see, when we render this out, we have something that looks like this. So now we need to make this a little bit more uniform. So we can go with black obsidian, or we can go with onyx. So it depends on what you want to do. Onyx is going to look like this, with the patterns coming through it. And to be honest with you, it does look quite nice. It's like a posh pants kind of tone to it. Let's go with edit mode real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and edit some of the stuff that we have here. So let's go edit mode, We'll make the middle right here. Let's go plus. And we want to go gold. Let's select the middle right here. We can make that gold. We could go ahead and select this little border right here. And make that gold. Oops. Yeah, let's go back on that one. Let's select this border, make that gold. Yeah, I'm going to click assign on these ones and then we can edit this one later on. Oopsie. Let's go gold, assign. Yeah, okay, so we should have something like this. And then we're going to go ahead and take this object right here. And let's go Shift D, move this across to the opposite side. Just as such. So you should have this nice little kind of piece for the wall right here. The next thing that we could do, we could add a shelf just in the middle here, just kind of give it some more detail, and then the shelf at the bottom would kind of look okay, but I don't know about that one. So let's go add. We'll go with cube. Let's press G, just bring this to the middle, and then press G just to bring it up top. S for scale. And you're going to want to get it just on the edge right here. So we'll go G, bring this in. S for scale. Just sideways there. G. Just bring it down to where it needs to be. And then we're just going to go S and scale across. And what we can do with this one, we could do edit. Control R, just running down the middle, just as such, if you guys can see that. Control R running down the middle, and then we can do, select this top face right here, E for extrude, just as such. Whilst you've got this face selected, let's go to add, we'll go onyx for the entire thing, plus, next drop down we go gold, and assign the gold to that edging. So now we've got this nice little pattern, this nice little gold thing going on. If you wanted to, in the middle right here, you could add the details of the pillars. So if we take these green ones right here, let's take those real quick. Control D, bring them down. G, bring them across. You could just place them in the middle just here. Oops, we're missing one. Hold on, let me backtrack. Okay, yeah. So, bring that down. G going across. You'll notice that it sticks out quite considerably. So we just need to alter that as well, but you can see where it's going. Just in the middle, just here. Right there. Okay, so now we can press S. Scale this inwards. Press G, just make sure that's nice and flush, just there. Shift D, move this across. Just to in there. And now what we should have, let's get rid of this. Let's click off that. Is this nice little kind of posh-ish. I think I want to change the tones on it, to be honest with you. But yeah, this kind of posh, nice pillar kind of setting. Now with this, you can actually take this and you can make this into a room. So what we can do to make this into the room, let's go ahead and just get rid of that bit for 1 second. So all of your tones should be the same. So if you duplicate anything and it's got a certain material, it's got a certain tone to it, it should just copy onto the next bit. So let's go ahead and we'll just box select everything because this is just a lot easier. Box select there, just double click to get rid of the background. We don't want to include this pillar nor the background to the pillar because obviously we will have it here. So let's get rid of the camera as well and the lighting. Right, so we go Shift D, and all you're going to do is just bring this across to the opposite side to there. And it's a bit of a bigger wall. Shift D, bring this across to the opposite side. You want to rotate this round, so alpha rotates and go 90 degrees. Press G. Bring this up to the pillar at the back right here, and let's press G and bring this to the side. It's totally up to you if you want to turn the pillar as well. That's totally your design. To be honest with you, I'm going to pull this just a little bit sideways. And obviously we've got the gap there, and what I'm going to do afterwards is I will amend that. So, we don't want any interacting vertices like this. Let's go G. You can bring this forward if you want to, but we essentially, come on. We essentially want it like that. So there's nothing interacting. And then we've got that up against the wall to a point. So let's get G. And you can just place that in just there. This is why we have the additional background on the side. And then we can go Shift D again. Move this across. Just make sure that's almost linear. Shift D again. Move this across. Just to about there. So now you can see that we've got this room made. I'm just going to press G and just bring up this floor just ever so slightly. So, I mean, this would be great for gaming, say if you were making rooms and stuff like that. You have something like this. So, this is what it should look like. I'm going to go ahead and edit the lighting, actually, because I just feel it's just too much. Let's see what the lighting is on my notes. Oh, I have chandeliers. I have chandeliers. Oh my goodness. If you guys want to learn chandeliers, I already have chandeliers on my channel, but the notes are stating chandelier. Chandelier is going to be pretty big, but I can do, I kind of wanted to do textures on this one, but, you know, that's going to be interesting. So, maybe I'll add the chandelier in the end. I'll like, edit the chandelier in, and then I'll put the link to the chandelier build in the description. Mustn't forget to do that, because that's going to be something that you guys would want. Okay. Oh gosh. You know what I need? You're hearing this? I need one of those setbacks, you know, that they use on movies. Like, they don't make noise. They're like silicone. So, there's no rustling. Let's get rid of this camera real quick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, place the ceiling, and then I'll put some additional lights. So, I'll just put some studio lights on there. Let's go Shift D. Studio lights just for the time being. So, we've got this right here. We're going to go Add. Let's go with Cube real quick. We'll get some emissions on here. Totally up to you if you want to do this little bit, but we can do G, move this across, G, move it down and up. Then we can change this to an emission. So let's go New, Principal BSDF, Emission. When we render, it should be something like this. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, so you guys can see the room a little better. I mean, there's a lot of editing to do to this to make it look a little bit more lifelike, but this is what we're working with just at current. So the next thing that we need to do is make the floor. So the floor is going to be a series of cubes. And they're going to be different tones. So let's go with Add Cube. We'll just press J, bring this up. Scale that down. Now you can have this as the onyx, you can have this as the black obsidian. Let's go to the shading tab real quick. But what I want to do, let's try and get some different tones in this. So let's go Add, and we'll go with color ramp, just in here. And we want some red tones and we want some black tones just on here. So we'll go with a nice little maroon. Black tones, you got the whites there. Let's go with add. Let's go with a noise texture. Colour to FAC. We want the black coming in, but we want the whites and the red just kind of in the background. Distort it just slightly. Let's scale this down. Little marbly tiles. Let's go red marble for the material. Red marble 1. Let's see what we can do. Let's go to 7 to heaven so we can see what's going on here. Let's change down the roughness to a nice shine. The metallic up. Let's go with Shift D. And essentially we're just going to make a floor. That's all we're doing really. So let's go Shift D, select both of these, Shift D. Just roughly make that in there. I might just pull these a little bit closer. I essentially just want to make a floor. Shift D, move that across. Shift D. And there's a reason why I've called this as Marble 1, Marble 2, so we can get that little variation going in. So just continue on with your Shift D. And then we'll select random ones to be randomized. Say we can have that much. Let's go ahead and just select random ones, hold down Shift, and just select little ones every so often. And we're going to go ahead, duplicate this texture, and then scale it differently. So you see how this one's changed? Okay, so the next one that we can do, let's go ahead and just name this as Marble 2. Okay, it's the ones that you've selected. Let's go with drop down, Marble 2. You see how that texture's changing right there? Marble 2. Marble 2. So we have that variation within the scene. Want to make this look less 90s graphics than and more up to date, so we could do Marble 2 there. So you could do Marble 3 if you wanted to, so I'll just duplicate this again, new material. This one will be Marble 3. And with this one maybe we could go ahead and just pull the black over a little bit. Some more constraints with that white, and then scale it upwards. So we've kind of got that different pattern that's coming through. So then we can go ahead and select this one, drop down, Marble 3. This one, drop down with Marble 3. Just go ahead, just select random ones. Marble 3. Marble 3. So it's just like a totally random floor. Now what you want to do is select absolutely every single one of these tiles that you've just made. Once you're done with your randomizing. And once we've got this, we're going to go Shift D. Duplicate it that way, Shift D, start duplicating it this way. Just roughly duplicate it down there. And now we have a rough floor. So let's go ahead, just select all of that. Now you might have selected something underneath, so let's unselect this. In fact, you know, I think I've duplicated this a couple of times. Let's get rid of this roof. Select all of these. Oopsie. I've selected those as well. I'm just going to go ahead and just tidy up what I've selected. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so should have one of those. I made a little oopsie, that's fine. Happens. Okay. Right, so select your floor right here, which you've got above. Go ahead, press G, bring this down. Make this as big or as small as you want, so if you need to scale this up, do so. So we just press S for scale. Let's go on to the layout, so we can see what's going on a little better. Press G, bring this down. And you just want it to grace the floor as such. Just make sure that it's within the room. And then if you go 7 to heaven, we can also get this at the back. Just make sure that it's nice and cozy within that room. Shift D, and all you're going to do is duplicate just across here. Shift D, move this up. And if you want to, because you'll notice there's kind of a pattern going on with the floor here, you can also add new materials and textures to this. It's totally up to you whether you want to go ahead and do that. So now we have this nice little room with reflections on the bottom. Obviously the lighting's not great because we need to import the lighting. Let's go ahead and take this space right here and we'll shift D, yep. Bring it up. And this is what the lighting should look like if you've got this room. Let's just improve this lighting just ever so slightly. If it'll let me. Come on. Right, we got the cube selected. Let's get the strength up just ever so slightly. And there we go. So the lighting's up, we can see that it's still rendering. I'm going to change this ceiling to black. Got that nice little depth coming through. And of course you can make the ceiling as tall or as small as you want to, but that's generally how I would do it at the moment. This wallpaper is kind of annoying me, I don't like it. Let's go back to shading. I think it's too much. We could have like small little patterns going on. I mean, they're all duplicated. You could change that if you wanted to. Let's see, the frequency is pretty good. Scale that down. It's totally up to you how you want the wallpaper. You could just change it, you know what I mean? You don't have to copy the way that I'm doing it. I'm going to take the floor tiles, actually, I'm going to make them a little bit rougher in some places. So you can kind of see the difference between them. Let's go to the drop down, marble 1. Just change up that roughness just ever so slightly. So it's not perfectly uniform, but it's kind of like a posh room if you wanted to. I mean, it's totally up to you what you want to do with this. It's your design, you know, at the end of the day. But yeah, that's kind of like your posh kind of alternative flooring and wallpaper that you can experiment with Blender. Yeah, if you guys like the tutorial, please like, subscribe. I do crazy funky things like this all the time. Yeah, it'd be great to have the support. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye. So before you guys go, this is what it should look like with the chandeliers. Obviously, it's been denoised. But yeah, I'm going to try and render this out and see what I can do with this. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll link chandeliers within the comments section so you guys can have a good go at this. At least the comment section, or at least a description. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.